All right, folks, strap in. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of total productive maintenance.
TPM, for those in the know.
Exactly. And even if you're not, don't worry, we've got you covered.
We're going way beyond just the basics here.
Peeling back the layers to uncover why TPM is so much more than just a buzzword.
We've got research papers, case studies, the whole 9 yards ready to dissect.
It's going to be a wild ride.
And that's key, right? We're not just defining TPM, we're exploring what makes it tick.
Exactly. Why it works, why it matters.
And why it has such a lasting impact on companies.
Of all shapes and sizes.
Absolutely. Anyone can slap a label on something.
But understanding the how and the why.
That's where things get really interesting.
So where do we even begin with something as, honestly, kind of massive as TPM?
It's a bit like a puzzle, isn't it?
With a million moving pieces.
You're not wrong, but like any complex project, you need that solid foundation first.
Okay, so start with the basics.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And for TPM, that foundation, the bedrock, is the preparatory phase.
Prep time. Makes sense.
You wouldn't, run a marathon without stretching first, right?
Or attempt to bake a souffle without a recipe.
Exactly. And you definitely wouldn't want to jump into the World Series without, well,
Actually practicing baseball first.
precisely. So in the context of TPM, what does this whole prep time actually look like?
Yeah, what's involved?
It's all about setting the stage,
Okay.
creating the right environment for success.
Like it.
This source, for example, talks about a manufacturing plant that really struggled.
Oh.
Yeah, they tried to implement TPM, but it just wasn't working.
What went wrong?
They treated it like a top-down directive instead of a company-wide initiative.
So it's not enough to just tell everyone, hey, we're doing TPM now.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
You need everyone on board.
Yes. Buy-in from every level of the organization is absolutely crucial.
So it's not about forcing change, it's about inspiring it.
Now you're getting it.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
It's about clear communication from leadership, for sure,
Right.
but also about creating targeted training programs.
So not everyone gets the same crash course.
Precisely. Imagine a marketing team
Okay.
and a production line team,
Gotcha.
both learning about TPM.
Right.
They're going to need very different things from that training.
Makes sense.
The marketing team, they need the high-level overview.
The what and the why of it all?
Right. How does TPM impact brand perception?
Customer satisfaction, things like that.
Exactly. They're thinking about the big picture impact.
Okay, I see.
While the production team, they're the ones on the ground.
The ones in the trenches.
They need the nitty-gritty.
The how-to.
Yes. How does TPM directly improve their daily workflow?
Reducing downtime, boosting efficiency.
Exactly. All those tangible benefits.
So it's about tailoring the message to the audience
Precise.
and to their specific needs and responsibilities.
And that's where tools like the skills matrix come into play.
A skills matrix.
It's a game changer, honestly.
Oh, okay. You're going to have to break that one down for me.
Imagine a grid, like a spreadsheet,
I'm with you.
but instead of numbers, it maps out the skills and knowledge base of your team. Let's say we're implementing a new TPM initiative focused on preventative maintenance, right?
Okay.
You'd list all the relevant skills,
Operating diagnostic equipment.
understanding machine schematics, all of it.
Gotcha.
And then you assess each team member's proficiency in those areas.
So it's not just about who has the skills, but also who needs training.
Exactly. You're identifying those gaps in knowledge.
That's really smart.
Maybe you have someone who's amazing with machinery,
Right.
but they haven't had any training in data analysis.
Which is crucial for tracking all those TPM metrics.
Exactly. The skills matrix, it reveals those discrepancies.
And then you can create those targeted training programs.
You got it.
It's like you're giving everyone a sneak peek at their TPM report card.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
And it helps you allocate resources where they're most needed.
So you're not just throwing training at the wall and hoping something sticks.
Definitely not. It's about being strategic and targeted in your approach.
Okay, so let's say we've got our team all trained up, everyone's on the same page. What's next? How do we actually put all this TPM knowledge into action?
That's where those clear roles and responsibilities come into play.
Oh, right, because even with the best training in the world,
If nobody knows who's doing what,
it's a recipe for disaster.
exactly. It's like that old saying, too many cooks.
Spoil the broth.
Exactly. And in a TPM context, that spoiled broth can lead to some pretty big problems.
Costly mistakes, missed deadlines.
And a whole lot of frustration along the way.
Frustration with a capital F.
This source, it actually highlights a company that ran into this exact issue.
Oh, no. What
Hmm.
happened?
They had all these great ideas, tons of enthusiasm,
Yeah.
but no clear sense of who was responsible for what.
So different teams were duplicating efforts, things were falling through the cracks.
On. It was chaos.
Yikes. So how'd they turn things around?
They brought in a simple yet incredibly effective tool,
Mhm.
the RACI matrix.
Yeah, RACI matrix. Okay, I'm intrigued. Break it down for me.
RACI stands for Responsible, Accountable, Consulted, and Informed.
Okay, I'm listening.
And it's basically a way to bring crystal clear clarity to every single task in your TPM process.
So no more guesswork, no more. I thought you were handling that.
Exactly. Everyone knows exactly what their role is and how it contributes to the bigger picture.
I like it. So how does it work in practice? Give me an example.
Sure. Let's say you're implementing a new preventative maintenance routine for a critical piece of equipment.
Gotcha.
You'd use the RCI matrix to clearly define who's responsible for carrying out that maintenance,
Makes sense.
who's accountable for making sure it actually gets done,
Okay.
who needs to be consulted on any changes to the routine.
Right, like if there's a new procedure or something.
Exactly. And then finally, who simply needs to be kept in the loop.
So they're informed, even if they're not directly involved in the task itself.
Precisely. It's about creating that shared understanding and that sense of accountability across the board.
No more working in silos. Everyone's connected.
Exactly. And this connection, this transparency, it's not just about avoiding confusion. It's also about empowering employees at all levels.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more about that.
Take the concept of autonomous maintenance, for example.
Autonomous maintenance. Does that mean the machines fix themselves?
Wouldn't that be something?
Sign me up.
It's not quite that advanced, but it's definitely a step towards greater efficiency.
Okay, so what is it then?
Autonomous maintenance is all about giving operators, the people who work directly with the equipment, the knowledge and the tools they need to handle basic upkeep and troubleshooting themselves.
So instead of relying solely on a dedicated maintenance team.
The operators are empowered to take ownership of the equipment they use every day.
I love that. They're the ones who know these machines inside and out anyway.
Exactly. They're the ones who spot those little red flags before they turn into major issues.
And that kind of proactive approach can save a company a ton of time, money, and headaches.
Not to mention downtime.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got the training, the clear roles, the empowered employees. What's next on our TPM journey?
Well, you've prepped the ground. You've planted the seeds.
Now we need to help those seeds grow.
Precisely. And that's where the master plan comes into play.
A master plan. Okay, now we're talking.
It's like the roadmap for your TPM journey.
Guiding you towards success.
Exactly. It outlines everything.
Resource allocation, equipment upgrades.
How you'll integrate new technologies as they emerge, the whole shebang.
So you're not just thinking about the here and now, you're looking ahead to the future of your operations.
Exactly. Anticipating challenges, seizing opportunities.
It's about playing the long game with TPM.
Precisely. But just like any good roadmap, your TPM master plan needs those regular check-ins.
To make sure you're still on track.
Exactly. Think of it like those checkpoints during a long-distance race.
You grab some water, catch your breath, make sure you're heading in the right direction.
And in the world of TPM, those checkpoints come in the form of audits.
Audits. Okay, so tell me everything.
This source we found, it actually breaks down the different types of audits you can use.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Nope. You've got your self-audits, supervisor audits, and department audits.
Okay, so it's like a multi-layered approach to accountability.
Exactly. Each type of audit provides a different perspective, a different layer of feedback.
So with the self-audit, you're basically holding yourself accountable.
Exactly. It's a chance to step back, assess your own performance, and identify areas for improvement.
And then the supervisor audit, that brings in that external perspective, right?
Precisely. It's your chance to get feedback from someone who has a broader view of the operation.
Someone who can see the forest for the trees.
Exactly. And then finally, the department audit. That's the big picture view.
Zooming out to see how the entire system is functioning.
You got it. It's about identifying any systemic issues that need to be addressed.
Making sure all the pieces of the puzzle are fitting together nicely.
Precisely. And it's through this continuous cycle of planning, implementing, auditing, and adjusting that TPM truly becomes a part of your company culture.
Not just a set of tools, but a way of life.
Exactly.
One-point lessons? Sounds kind of like those Cliff Notes I used to rely on in school.
Not a bad analogy. They're all about cutting through the clutter.
Getting straight to the good stuff.
Exactly. One-point lessons are like those bite-sized nuggets of knowledge.
Easy to digest, easy to remember.
This source I was looking at, it actually had a bunch of examples.
Oh, Really? Like what?
Well, one company used them to train new employees.
Smart. Instead of overwhelming them with a mountain of manuals.
Exactly. They created these visual guides, step-by-step instructions.
So like a cheat sheet for success.
Pretty much. And they found that it dramatically reduced training time.
I bet. Our brains just seem to process visuals way faster than text.
It's true. Especially in a fast-paced environment, you need something that's quick and easy to understand.
No time for long-winded explanations.
Exactly. One-point lessons, they get straight to the point.
Pun intended.
Maybe.
Shoot.
But seriously, they're a powerful tool for improving efficiency and communication.
And for creating that culture of continuous improvement we keep talking about.
Absolutely. When you empower employees to share their knowledge and learn from each other.
That's when the real magic happens.
Exactly. It's not just about the tools and the technology.
It's about the people.
And the mindset.
That growth mindset.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's something that can't be forced. It has to be cultivated.
Nurtured from the ground up.
Precisely. So, to wrap things up, where are we at with TPM?
Well, we've explored those crucial first steps.
Laying the groundwork with a solid prep phase.
We dove into the nitty-gritty of skills matrices.
And the importance of clear roles and responsibilities.
We even mapped out our TPM journey with the master plan.
And those all-important audits?
We covered a lot of ground.
We did.
But I think the biggest takeaway for me is this whole idea of fostering a culture of continuous improvement.
100%. That's the heart of TPM.
It's about empowering everyone at every level of the organization.
To identify areas for improvement, big or small.
And contribute to making things better day after day.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder.
And creating a workplace where both people and machines can thrive.
Now you're speaking my language.
Well, folks, we've reached the end of our TPM deep dive.
And what a dive it's been.
We've explored the tools, the strategies, the mindset.
Everything you need to start implementing TPM in your own workplace.
Or, if you're already on the TPM journey,
Maybe this has sparked some new ideas.
we're giving you a fresh perspective.
Either way, we hope you found it valuable.
And remember, the learning doesn't stop here.
We've just scratched the surface of TPM.
There's a whole world of knowledge out there waiting to be explored.
So keep learning, keep experimenting, and most importantly,
Keep that TPM momentum going.